Hello, you bloody savages. My name is Jason Ward, and I'm from MakingStarWars.net. And as always, I got Ghost Rob with me. How you doing, Rob? Yeah.
Hello. You need to use the nerd force to complain about Boba Fett. Use it. Use the nerd force.
I just went to like pull up my left pant leg a little bit, and I ripped my pants above my knee and my favorite jeans. How does that happen?
You
I
will
guess
now be known as the Toralorian because you tear your
yeah.
pants.
old pants
Eating
tear
too many
Ward.
turkey legs in Jabba's palace.
Ugh, what's going on? But yeah, so we got some interesting stuff coming up this week in Star Wars. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about our predictions for the final episode of Star Wars: The Book of Boba Fett, and we're going to get into a big spreadsheet, not a spreadsheet, but a form that we fill out from Star Wars Santa Show, where we go and we put in our little predictions and we say what we think. There was a story I did.
Oh, I love that he laughs and hoes.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna get him really canceled. Calling everybody a hoe. It ain't gonna work that long.
Santa. Even the Nazis couldn't do it. Santa still delivered toys in World War II every year.
No. But yeah, there was a what's his name, Skarsgård, who's in Star Wars Andor. That dude, the old Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He says that he's getting ready to do Andor season 2. So, there's been a lot of back and forth on, is there an Andor season 3 happening because of what some of those trade kind of publications were like writing. And the truth is, I don't think anybody really knows. I don't think that anybody knows if they're splitting up that first season into 2 or if we're going to get a 12 episode season. But when you get down to it in terms of the production, it sounds like it's season 2 is really what is about to start filming. So either way, it's kind of correct.
And it's 12. Are
yeah.
those 12 27-minute shows? You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine they did 12 40-minute episodes, man. Just with the budgets, I just can't see that happening. I mean, would you prefer a 40-minute or a 20-minute? I prefer the longer, but
I prefer longer. I mean, I would prefer it be longer, but at the same time, I like girth too. You know what I mean? Both have their advantages. I kind of think with a show like Andor, though, if it delivers on the promise of the premise, as we were talking about a lot last week, I would imagine that extra time for subtlety and implication could be greatly utilized in a spy thriller.
Also, something to think about when you have something that's a little bit more longer out, you can, from episode to episode, you can lengthen the time between the events. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're like, come now in the next episode, you don't know if a day passed or 3 days, but in the context of one episode, it's hard to get a sense that 3 days have passed unless you show sunsets and sunrises.
Right.
Like
actually,
that montage from Nightcrawler, the movie Nightcrawler, where they're like just running around San Diego or LA.
A source is texting me right now, clarifying actually. Star Wars Andor is short and stubby.
Oh, he's built like Toad. Built like Toad from Mark. What? Too soon?
Yeah. I was gonna do the whole episode like this, by the way, as you saw at the beginning. I was gonna be like, say something, Rob. Say something to me.
How'd Luke get your lightsaber? That makes sense.
Are you not entertained, plebs? Whatever.
Plebes. I like plebes.
I like plebes too.
I'm an oregano, not an oregano kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Plebes.
Oregano.
Oregano.
But recently I saw some pictures of Bill Organa.
I was about to say, you think his original name was Basil Oregano, and he turned it to Bill?
I don't know. I saw a photo of Bill Organa in Kenobi. So I don't know if that's out there. but it is now.
Now,
Huh?
is it the Smiths bail, or is
Mhm.
it
It's
the
Smiths.
Topps trading card bail, which I
It's
love?
Smiths who's the tits.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's
I just
definitely
like to know
Jimmy
that there's
Smith.
this. They got this body double for Bale to like protect him for security details, and he looks nothing like Bale. He's this white guy.
Yeah.
You know, like Saddam Hussein. Like imagine if Saddam Hussein got Eminem to be his bodyguard. Like that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited that we're kind of on the eve of Kenobi territory.
so it's
Um,
confirmed May, right? That's what like all the channels have been saying.
it's
Is
not
that true?
confirmed. It's not
Oh,
confirmed. It's just super likely. Like at this point, I
oh,
mean, once I did a show on Saturday, you couldn't come because you were making chili. I respect
I
that.
was.
You're making chili. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
We're gonna
leave
eat
the
chili.
chili. We're gonna leave the chili there by itself to cook.
Took 7 hours.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, 30 minutes for your friends.
The
I mean,
cornbread was great.
whatever.
Too,
No,
I might add.
I'm kidding.
Love the
But
cornbread.
no, yeah, I did throw that on you like out of nowhere. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna do one because we didn't do it on Friday, and yeah, I went down over to the Mandalorian season 3 set and talked to some homies down there and all that kind of stuff, and saw the old Bell Organa from when he filmed a while ago, and heard some stuff about Uncle Owen. It was fun. But
He's
we're not.
STD free.
He is. He is. Yeah, I mean,
apparently, if you do enough lizard, you could cure you of herpes.
he's in a loveless marriage. A loveless marriage, and he does what he has to do to get by. But yeah.
You think Owen and the mods were a thing? Had to be, right? Or do you think mods they weren't around at the time? Mods are new, right?
No, you know what? I'm gonna guess that the mods would like drive by, and he'd be like, "I don't get these fucking punks. I don't understand why do they gotta do that? Why she's a pretty girl? Why does she gotta put robot stuff all over her face?" I think that's probably how Uncle Owen is. It's just a guess though. But anyways,
he's inappropriately touching the moisture evaporators.
Hey,
like, win.
We don't kink shame on this show.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, if he likes it moist, he likes it moist. Oh, by the way, pet peeve of mine, moisture evaporator. It's evaporator, but you go play like Knights of the Old Republic, and they're like a vaporator. I'm like, what? A vaporator? No. I say no.
The RPG or the MMO?
The video game on Xbox.
Okay,
Xbox.
they call it a vaporator.
A vaporator. I'm like, that's when I was like, oh, fuck this game.
You think there was a Mountain Dew tie-in somewhere around there? Or they just gave it up? I feel like Mountain Dew vaporator was like a thing. I feel like that was a thing. The Berenstain Bears. Yeah.
Darth Vaporator. he gets you wet. He gets you wet.
It does feel like if they had continued the Spaceball legacy, Darth Vape would have been a thing.
Yeah. Right. Blowing big clouds on Cloud City. But anyways, what I was going to say was yeah, we are here on sort of the eve of the end of Book of Boba, and we get to move into Kenobi territory. And I'm super excited for the channel to focus more towards that. Right now, I got little Santa's elves working on MakingStarWars.net. We're doing we're rebuilding her, making her stronger, faster, I hope. And
I got a new rig.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
She can make 0.5 past light speed. Shut down, Malin. Don't worry.
Yeah. I came to a point with the site where I either needed to close it down and kill it, or really get back into it, And I decided, all right, I'm gonna take the old girl for another spin, So I'm getting everything set up there, and for this next little era, and of course we're gonna keep doing this show every day too. It's just gonna make it all come together. We're gonna make it all come together.
All the money in the no making money YouTubes. Good
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've never even really promoted this show on the site, which is,
That's
yeah. Right?
That explains why. Hold on, that was much more adorable, Jesse. You gotta go back to it. I like the other way. I mean, I like your face. I'm just there. You go. Look, hey, we're interviewing Dennis Lawson today. Say hi, Mr. Lawson.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lawson.
So
I like
how's
your
it going,
Latino
Dusty?
English thing going
It's
on
good.
there. I like
It's
that. Scottish though.
oh, here I was gonna do this.
What are you
You gotta
saying? I
speak-
can't hear
you
you.
gotta
I
speak
can't hear
louder.
you.
I was gonna do this for.
Oh wow.
Baby Yoda's got his new ride.
Fucking Disney selling out Baby Yoda.
Check it out, mask style, baby mask.
Yo, you laugh, but that's something Favreau would do. Like he's already
Right?
put
Yeah.
the toys in the show. Like I was joking the other day that in the Lucas voice, I was like, yeah, I wanted to call Yoda, Baby Yoda Kenner.
Yeah.
I got overruled. I was like, such a good fucking idea.
And then I found my favorite version of the Riddler.
Let me turn it up. Oh, I remember that.
Oh,
I
the
had that.
superpowers.
I had
When he was
that.
buff.
Yeah.
It's the superpowers.
And
I just
let
had
him
3 Clark Kents because my uncle got them all in the mail order for free. I just had a bunch of Clark Kents. And the lamest superpowers collection ever.
I don't know how this still works, but
Well, that's from the
does.
Batman toy, right? The '89
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. I
and
got
stuff.
the
toy
I
biz.
got his the gold one, the blue one.
That's the Kenner. But the fact that I know the difference in these toy lines is pathetic.
Now
Can't
who's
even
the
do
nerd?
taxes.
Now who's the nerd, bro?
Who? Hey, you see my picture? Like you do this? You hear this?
No,
laugh?
I've been showing a lot of people who I'm working with some of the shows, and everybody loves your Force Ghost.
Oh, thank you.
I posted
Enough
a
about-
link to the Google Doc if you want to predict along with us today, and feel free to disagree. I sent.
Will
it out
Uncle
to-
Owen show up in Book of Boba Fett? Oh, she's dead.
Okay.
But that doesn't matter. He can still show up. It's still possible. We flash back.
It's true.
Yeah.
There was a
True.
3-way between what's her name? Amy Sedaris's
Amy Sedaris.
Sedaris.
Amy Sedaris, Uncle Owen, and a Jawa.
Yeah. It could happen.
Is that one of
mean-
those trilogy relationships?
What if Moto comes in, Peli Moto comes in and really tests the marriage of Beru and Uncle Owen, you know? What if they thought it was just a weekend and Beru wanted to experiment with another lady, you know, and Uncle Owen's like, yeah, that's hot. But jealousy creeps in.
elf. Can you wear the elf outfit?
No, it turns into that Harrison Ford movie Witness, where he stays with the Amish to protect the chick.
I would love to see a remake of that with Ben Solo and Jawas.
I'm still
Witness, right? I think it's called Witness.
wait, what's her name is Amy Sedaris, right?
Sedaris,
Yeah,
thank you.
Amy Sedaris. Yeah.
Yeah, like hold on.
Stranger than Candy.
I'm gonna throw up a picture. Wait, I'm gonna see if there is one I could like easily find of her and Elf. It's a little actually it's a little harder to find one. Never mind. They're there, but not what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, she looks strangely good in that, and you're like, what's going on here? Because I'm used to her in Strangers with Candy and Star Wars, mostly Star Wars now, obviously, because that's what that's my crack. I smoke the Star Wars crack.
She does some voice work in season 3 of DuckTales.
Oh yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she plays
Who
a
she-
really
who
good
does she
hench
play?
duck.
A hench duck. The hench
Yeah, one of
duck.
the little
Okay.
egg eggs, and she's great at it. Super good.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch that. Actually, I was enjoying it, but I just kind of stalled out on it. All right, let's get on to the predictions.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Let's
Okay,
see if I can-
timestamp it. 28 minutes. Darth Riel. It was like last time.
Yeah. You know, I don't. There's things about YouTube that I just don't understand. Like, do I have to put the chapters, or can they?
Oh, they just put them in the comments. And then
Yeah,
people
but there's
just follow.
ways people have chapters, and it's like there's an option, and it's like allow.
you can do
chapters,
that yourself.
and I
yeah.
say allowed it, but I didn't know if people who watch could insert them in. Like,
Who made this list, by the way? Who made this?
what the Book of Boba?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
I mean, like the prediction things. Who is this?
Yeah,
Ours?
This is Star Wars Santa's thing. By the
okay.
way, I can't get into it now, but the Barra Sophie thing, I'm not saying it's not, but I got some stuff to share in the future that makes me think it may not be Barra Sophie. Just be upfront with you where I'm at.
No.
All right.
Well, she's gonna show up either way, right? So it doesn't.
Or yeah. I mean, I'm talking about as the savior of Grogu.
I keep getting her. I keep getting mixed up with Luminaria Unduli or whatever her name is.
Oh right.
Yeah, I did all that on purpose just to fuck with you nerds. You know.
Yeah, that Luminara was her master. They were in a BDSM relationship, I think. That's what it sounds like when you say that. All right. If Boba Fett doesn't kill somebody in the finale of his show,
we got some
it'll be fucking the one guy. It'll be the one guy no one wants dead, Cad Bane. You know, that's what I fear. Like, I love that anyone can die in Star Wars. That's what I love about Star Wars, right? One of the things. But I hate it when they keep killing the fucking people we didn't get enough to see of. You know, like, why that one? Why not all these other fucking assholes?
They perfectly recreated the silhouette of Lee Van Cleef, like in
Ninja Master 1 and 2. Just some of my favorite Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes of all time. If you haven't seen it, go watch Demi Moore give the worst on-screen kiss, or a guy tried to kiss her, more or less. And Lee Van Cleef, because he has Asian eyes, cast him as this Mr. Miyagi dude, and then when he's in the ninja outfit, it's a literally Asian man. It's the most crazy fucking thing I've ever seen. This was an actual TV show.
Yeah, Lee Van Cleef was like, I'm going to go play golf. Just let him do it, I guess.
Right. He wears a medallion and a tracksuit. You got to watch it. Ninja Master 1 and 2.
A medallion and a tracksuit.
Yeah, he has a medallion.
Yeah. So does anyone in the chat or this world believe that Boba Fett won't kill somebody in this episode? I mean, that one.
And that's riding the Rancor, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to say he's riding the Rancor. Like, if I'm riding a horse and I trample a child, I killed the child, not the horse. I'm going to say that if Boba Fett rides a Rancor and it eats somebody, he killed them. Like, that's where my head is. I think that's fair.
Yeah, if he's riding a giant Zamboni and he runs over penguins, you know, and he killed the penguins. It wasn't the Zamboni who did it.
Okay. If you are an orphan of rich parents and you live in the sewer and you put missile launchers on the backs of penguins and those kill the citizens of Gotham, you are responsible.
You're also a genius for putting that in a fucking film. You know, I gotta admit, like it is my favorite part. People hated those commandos. I'm like, this is great. You know, like I don't want realistic Batman.
I love how the penguins. Some of them had the little helmet and the little snap down little viewers before.
Dude, they do more carnage than Boba Fett has so far. So let's just be honest.
I'm just a man. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf.
I never could have predicted that the Penguin Commandos would wreck more shop than Boba Fett.
100% of responses for the week. Yeah.
Of the week. So Santa says 100% of the responses have Boba and Fennec killing someone in this episode. So I have to agree with that. I mean, on one hand, I could almost see them doing something weird with Fennec where she's like equivalent of dude in the chair. You know, I think to use the Spider-Man thing, and she doesn't get
she's having a spa day. She's having a spa day. Leave her alone.
Spa day, yeah. She jumps into his little Bacta tank, and she's like, "Today's my day." You know what I mean? Like it's been.
Is there room for two in here?
It's like I've been walking around this desert.
Yes.
I know, man. Yes. Like, don't people in the Star Wars galaxy ever like get it on each other anymore? Yeah, I don't. No, man. If I was hanging out in that place and I had droids bringing me like big old plates of chicken and stuff, I'd be like, so Fennec, what are you into?
That back to bed needs to be big, like in Fifth Element, man. They're both fit in there at the end of the day.
What's nuts is they actually have what look to be like prostitute Twilights, and all they want to do is take your helmet.
Sex workers, Rob.
You know, sex workers.
Polish your head, please.
But in Star Wars, it's a different galaxy. You know, it doesn't. It's, you know. Yeah. So it's not our world. But yeah. So but then they're like, "Can we just take your helmets?" I'm like, "Is that code? Like, are they just there to take your helmets?" So weird.
But then the green guy too. Like, he is one character for me that's just like he throws me off. He just doesn't look right.
No, you just conflicted, Jesse. It's okay.
I don't know what
We don't
to
kink
do.
shame here. We covered that already.
I don't know if I want him to polish me though. Maybe I should polish him.
Yeah, I have to say, if they had any balls, they would have been like, "Can I polish your helmet?" And every time we would have Beavis and Butthead laughed all together as a community. You know,
It's funny. I like it. So yeah, I say yes on both. We can move on to the next one.
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rob, are you going to be doing your own this time, or are we all going in together?
We're just all going in. I can't go. I won't remember. I'm just sitting here drawing away. I forgot.
So, I want to say that there won't be a flashback scene, but I feel like there's going to be the one I think there's going to be the one final flashback scene to wrap it all up. Let me force push this thing over into the corner. I feel like there's going to be one last little baby one that just sort of like contextualizes the forward momentum of where we're kicking off. Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah.
Mace Windu?
Yeah.
Could be Mace. I mean, this is the finale. So if you were going to have the oh shit, that's cool moment of the flashbacks, the last episode is the time to do it. And if you could save it, it is the time to save it. And if there is any reason to see Daniel Logan's Boba Fett looking out the window going, Papa, please come home. I miss you. Then I think that's also like, the time to
we'll get it a
maybe
third time.
Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted you guys to remember the emotion and the feeling that you felt. Love Daniel Logan. I love his Boba Fett, and I hope he gets to come back. But
yes, they died, and I hope they burn in hell.
Okay, so I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to say, even though I don't think we need it, I'm going to say yes. And but if you guys disagree, by all means,
no, there has to be one. There has to be one.
Speak freely. Get it? What I just did? You fucking asshole! You fucking asshole!
The comments clearly
hands.
The comments have told me not to speak freely. They've been very clear on this.
Yeah, it's because you're an a-hole.
I pee freely. That's all.
Wow, Jesse. Wow.
All right.
First 3 seasons of Simpsons, your favorite, huh?
All right.
Possibly.
So we are going to have the Slave One fire spray gun ship. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. When I think about this Rancor moment, it makes me think like that could potentially take the Slave One out of the way, because I don't know do you think that little Rancor could get in the back of the Slave One? I think it might be a little too big. You might have to really like suck
Fennec
it.
will be
room there
flying
for him.
Fennec will be flying it.
Yeah,
or Black or Sand, and someone else will be it. My fear is it'll be the mods.
Whoa! I just had a really brain fart right now. I'm sure somebody said it by now. Has anybody said this by now? Do you ever think about the fact that Slave One gets tentacled by the Sarlacc, and it can't pull the Slave One? It's like really, but it's pulling it. But then it grabs Lando's leg, and Han and Lando are as strong as the Slave One put together.
Yes,
Lando doesn't miss leg day.
It's leg day. Oh man, but yeah, but I do think that the Slave One will be in if there is a fight. Now, for what it's worth, a couple of things. That was a sequel trilogy moment coming, and he said that it did not refer to Luke's Jedi school. It wasn't referring to that when he.
Oh, we're glitching.
Yeah, you're glitching there now, man. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, you're dropping off.
Huh. Can you guys? Am I back?
You're back now.
You're back.
Okay.
Now.
Weird. Viewer Anon said that there's going to be a connection to the sequel trilogy, and then Chatooine Show keeps saying Mosque, not his castle, and some people keep saying that things are going to be a lot, aren't the finale won't be what you expect, which is both exciting and a little bit
Concerning.
I don't know, scary. Yeah,
Told you.
exactly.
Told you. Just can't predict this shit, man. Like,
yeah. Yeah. By the way, I hope you didn't, but did you watch the show I did on Saturday, Rob?
I did not actually. I was going to, but then I
Yeah, no.
got there was a there's a podcast I followed, Jerk Comic on YouTube, and he's been covering like Sam Keith's history with the Max, and he put up part 4, and I just was rewatching all those again. So if you're a big fan of the Max, it's a
I
good.
like the Max. That was cool.
Yeah. So no, I missed it.
There was
But I didn't miss your glitches. So
Yeah.
he's just stuck.
wasn't there like a run of comics that were the covers were those things? The Max? There's
What are
like
you
a
talking-
couple of there's a couple of Max covers that came out, I thought.
Well, he's
Like
doing Max covers for the re-release at IDW for a while. It's the only new Max stuff. But there's a whole history with that not a lot of people know about. Like there was this lawsuit and stuff that went over
Yeah,
the
see, I don't even know
time
that stuff.
yeah, drained him financially. It was bullshit. The rights, apparently, fucking MTV like owned a lot of the rights, and so like.
Oh god, I could only imagine how that went. Anyway, it's just us two. Now it's just me. Okay, so all right. I like to. All right, folks, here we are, and we are doing this Book of Boba Fett now. I'm not too sure that I'm keen. Okay, no, screw it. I do love it. The dragon's bonehead skull on top of these.
I hate you, you piece of trash.
I see you and I hear you again.
Just totally kicked. Like Rob's not even in the lineup right now.
Oh Jesus! It kicked him that far.
It kicked him that hard. He got kicked. The Rancor kicked him, and he was never the same again.
He got canceled. He said the wrong thing. We just don't know what it was.
He got kicked right in the keister. Yeah, like I said, that's why I don't think this is me. I don't think this is my computer doing this. I don't think this is my shitty Mac responsible for
whatever this link up thing that's done there. Yeah,
because we're connecting to Melon, and then that's our hub. If I get kicked, you guys should still stay. This doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
But Star Wars Newsnet had a report that he was going to write a Rancor. Now, is always a chance they knew of the scene where he says, "I want to write it," and that's all that it amounted to. But if the show goes and says, "I want to write a Rancor," and doesn't do it in that season and saves it for another season, that's a huge dick move on Favreau's part. That's a huge dick move.
Well, and plus, haven't we seen like most of when they show the concept art before it actually happens on screen? Most of them, they do show him writing a Rancor. So at some point,
wait, the concept art from the end of the episode showed him on the Rancor?
I think it was like early on. Yeah, in one of the episodes, there was a shot of him where it was like art on top of the Rancor.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I remember Star Wars Newsnet's interpretation of it. But
then we see kind of like the televised version of that art. So
yeah, weird. But yeah, Rob, if you are listening to this or you could hear it, I don't see you to put you in, which is very strange. But anyways, there he is. I see the little guy. Hey, you got bucked, huh?
I did.
Yeah, bucked hard.
He got force ghosted off this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, so Boba riding the Rancor, because we are betting men, we will say yes, because if he's ever going to do it, it has to be now.
It has to be now.
All right, guys.
No, but I
well, maybe he could tell us. He's in our chat now. We should ask him.
Boba, Hey, Boba, we got some questions for you, man. Are you gonna ride the Rancor in the next episode? Is that gonna happen?
Is he going bareback, or are you saddling up, man? Gotta know.
Boba, do you bareback after do you bareback after Bacta? Okay.
It's actually
Yeah.
Ewok back, and
His favorite movie is Spirit.
yeah,
Okay.
full wicket. Yeah.
So,
Full wicket.
anyways, all right, Rob, I'm gonna throw number 6 entirely to Rob. I'm going to make number
Ah.
6 Rob's. Rob gets to decide number 6.
No, there's no Bosk in this series.
You
We're
say
past
no
that.
Bosk?
No Bosk.
No
Past all
Bosk.
that.
Is that Spanish for no Bosk?
No basket.
No Bosk.
Clever.
No Bosk.
No mas.
So Santa says Boss cameo predictions 63% say yes, 37% say no on the predictions.
No, we would have got him already. They showed enough Trandoshans. I think they would.
Yeah. Yeah. I am wow.
Gaslight.
Yeah. I feel like I would love to see Bosk. He could show up any old time and I would be happy. But do I need Bosk to show up at this point in the story that it do I feel like the story wants Bosk there? I don't think so. I don't know.
Not what they're telling.
Yeah,
No.
my instincts aren't there. Like, yeah, do you guys feel like the story has been like it wants Bosk?
Now, is it
No.
is it canon that he trained Boba Fett?
Well, what we have is in if we just look at the Clone Wars,
Mhm.
we have young Boba with the Slave One with Aurra Sing, Bosk, and Dengar, and they're kind of like doing jobs together. And it's you kind of get the vibe that Boba is sort of the leader of the gang, but only because they are just letting him be that, not necessarily because it's really anything important. And maybe because and I'm putting this here, but maybe out of respect for Django, they kind of just see him as little Django, and they're just kind of like letting it go. But so him being so he definitely has adventures with Aurra Sing, and Aurra Sing ultimately fucks him over hard. You know, she leaves him behind, steals his ship. He saves her, and she fucks him over. So he's definitely had some reasons to not love those guys as much as you would think. But that's what they've set up in the story, that these people, they're all out for themselves, and adult Boba Fett to expect any honor among thieves at this point in his life would be an idiot.
Yeah, but he should have said that. Like, hey, paying for bounty hunters is probably not the best idea or something. You know what I mean? Like, no honor amongst thieves. You should just say all that so we can cover it.
Yeah.
You would think. Yeah, you would think that also. Like, if he did train him, like he would kind of mosey on back and just not really be involved in the action. But I'm just here to check on my best pupil, see how you were doing.
Yeah. I mean, but if they do go, Star Wars Santa was predicting or was having a conversation about, if they do go the Battle of the Five Armies way, we just may see a bunch of assholes from all over the galaxy showing up at the end who have been hired by both sides, people that we didn't know that Fennec Shand hired. And so we definitely could see it. But I am going to go, and having deferred to Rob on this one, who's had a stellar record of predicting this form anyways.
It's a party at the Moon Tower.
I'll make another prediction. I know Star Wars Santa keeps likening this to Lord of the Rings, but you're better off likening this to that Hobbit movie where they took one book worth of shit and they're dragging it out over
For 3 fucking movies.
Yeah, and you're just like, come on, man. 15 minutes of the dishes. You know what I mean? Like, really?
Yeah, that broke me. I never finished it.
Then you call it the Desolation of Smog, and it's like, there's no really fighting a dragon in that. But, hey.
Smegma. Desolation of Smegma. All right. Han Solo cameo. Let's talk for a second about how that could go. I thought about this. And how it can go, though, is if you wanted Han, Luke, and Leia together, is Grogu wants to go back to Daddy, and Luke for whatever reason, needs the ride. Let's just pretend like he can't take him in the X-wing on his lap because Luke might get excited and we'd have a
How
scandal.
did he get off the ship on the Mando season 2 if he can't?
but maybe Han Solo and the picks them up in the Falcon and Leia's there with little baby Ben, and they just do that member berry fan servicey thing at the end, and they take Grogu home, and then from there, Ben Solo, because Ben in the books, if we believe that the books are going to matter whatsoever, Ben is supposed to be Luke's first student, his first true student. And even that still doesn't really make sense to me because Ben doesn't see it. Ben doesn't become a Jedi. He doesn't see it through. He turns and doesn't see it through. Grogu is technically the first student. So that's in a way already wrong. Because Ben's not the first student because Grogu's as much Grogu bells, Ben bells. It's kind of we're in a but there's still a fine line there. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think we're going to see a Han Solo cameo in this bitch?
No.
Nope.
You guys are both saying no. All right.
Wait.
They're both saying
it's not going to go the way you think.
Not going to go the way you think.
7 and 8 would have to be together if they're going to show up.
Not necessarily.
I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes?
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense and it shouldn't happen. But
okay. Fuck it. Let's do it.
That
is good logic, my friend. That is good logic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Kira, this one, since it's been rumored because of the comic books and that kind of shit, and this series has made me not really believe that the comic books matter at all. I mean,
they don't seem to.
Good.
It makes me go. They really didn't seem to honor, and I don't need him to go, oh, hey, Black Hassan, remember that time and blah 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 blah. I don't need that. But at the same time, like it's like they never had seen each other. It's like they have no idea who one another is at all. And that's where I was a little bit like, well, but we also have stuff like what's her Boba's clone sister. Why hasn't Fennec said, oh, you know what? I tried to kidnap your sister once. Like she hasn't said that either, and that's like a little bit like
girls' night.
But I mean, but if every day is a Star Wars story in the lives of these people, you know what I'm saying? If every single day is a Star Wars movie and a Star Wars episode, so to speak, in this fictional world, she just might not remember. And it's like, how do you play with memory in Star Wars? Where's the line? I don't know. I don't know if they know.
Berries.
That's for us. That's for us. But like if Fennec doesn't remember that time that she just went after that one kid, you're like, well, okay. Just like that time, does Obi-Wan doesn't remember that time that R2-D2 hung out with them for like 3 fucking years during a war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
was the one I couldn't get, is the thing I couldn't get past with the Phantom Menace. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
how does he not know?
The way I figured the way around it would have been 3PO would have been Padme's droid, and the R2 thing was with Anakin and Liam Neeson's for the most of the time.
And then that's what he does. Like he ends up throwing 3PO to Padme, and that's what's sort of strange, right?
Yeah, it just should have been that way to begin with. But yeah, well, hey man, like I'm doing this all on my own here, no help, right? So what do you want me to do here? And there's only one Tales of Power book, so if he just kept writing some, I might have been able to pull.
Actually, George, he wrote a lot. Good thing nobody told you. He wrote a bunch of those books, actually.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're all made up. They're all made up, George. But so my take has been, if Kira doesn't show up, that piece of music that we're hearing, that's the Crimson Dawn theme. Number one, I don't think Crimson Dawn's around at this time. I think Crimson Dawn has been dismantled and it would be something else. So it wouldn't be Crimson Dawn. So when we're hearing that piece of music, I think that's simply the Underworld theme song. That's That's the criminal underworld music that they're going to use, the leitmotif, if you want to be pretentious, throughout all of Star Wars.
Or are they going to go where like Crimson Dawn was absorbed into like the Pikes or some other organization?
Microsoft bought them out.
Microsoft
They're just acquiring all the syndicates, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a Spice Pass for like
they're now called
credits a month.
They're called Metadon. They're called Metadon now. But
we had the prequel ship, right? The Sith Interceptors in that shot. So that's where I'm throwing off, right? Like, why would they go through that time and effort to put that in? Like, they're not keen on doing weird Easter eggs. They barely put the Slave One in shots where it should be. So, like it should be clearly in that hangar. It's always like barely visible somewhere. I can't figure that one out. But
yeah.
Because they don't want
except for the episode in which they steal it when it didn't need to be clearly visible, and it's like right in the center of the fucking shit. It's so fucking weird.
Sheep says, "So Jason, have you seen Pablo's Twitter bio?
Oh God, no.
I hope he's single and looking to mingle. That's what it says. Anyways, so Kira cameo
down to foo.
Yeah.
He just wants to go get fucked. He just wants to get fucked.
It just all it says is DTF.
All right, DTF, bro.
All right, so Kira
cameo. Man, the ship is the thing.
Yeah, the ship is the thing. Like I said, I could just see it being a little Bob Ross moment. Like, oh, and here we have a little Sith infiltrator. You know,
we're gonna
go
yes.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go yes for 8, then we got to go yes for 9.
But I don't think so, dude. I mean, I don't.
I've always said no. I've always said no. I got to stick to my guns on this one.
But you're saying no on Kira.
Yeah, because I've said no this whole time. I get the ships there, but I gotta believe that they're just put that in there because Filoni thought it was funny.
Not everybody, I think, really watched Solo and understood the dynamic there between Kira after the middle of the film. So it just seems like their safe way to go is if they're going to have her pop up, then their discussion will be about how Crimson Dawn folded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the last episode. Adding new shit is just something you don't do, but then they do all sorts of shit you're not supposed to fucking do.
Yeah,
they break all the rules, man. That's all we know.
Yeah, so you see here, folks. You know,
I don't think they care about story structure necessarily.
It'd be like getting a Watchmen cameo at the last episode of Peacemaker. You're like, all right.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Okay, yeah, it's like
it would be like putting
we're doing this.
Maul
Okay,
at the end of Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm. Yeah.
So
I gotta say no. I'm just saying no, but that's only because I've said no all the way through.
I want it to happen, so I'm going to go with no because I feel like I might just be going with what I want to happen as opposed to what is happening.
And who knows, Jesse?
And yeah, Jesse, were you a no or were you a yes?
I'm going to go no.
You're a no too, okay. And then I'm going to say Crimson Dawn, even if she does show up, isn't mentioned though.
No,
because you're already. I mean, once again, the show's weird. Don't know what to make of a lot of it, but mentioning another syndicate that doesn't even matter in terms of like it's not around anymore. That one seems like
unless he's talking to somebody saying this planet has had many people who have tried to conquer it and do this, and such as blah 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 blah. So I think that kind of be it.
True.
So dumb, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You would get some stupid speech like that.
All right. So we really have very little reason to think that we would see Takadana other than the Tatooine show say, you know, their reports that it would happen. So do we want to have faith in the Tatooine show? Because I want to have faith in them, and I want them to have got the scoop right. But we don't really have
I
any
don't think we're seeing
indication.
Maz's castle, unless that's the flashback scene. I don't know what they'd be
Yeah.
flashing back to, like the time Boba just gave him a banner.
Because
Here's my banner. You know,
Oh,
what
God.
else would facilitate the story if they went there? It's like there's not.
Well, that's yeah.
we're
Well, I
past
mean,
that, Jesse.
yeah.
We're way past that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Technically, the Boba show ended 2 episodes ago. But go ahead, Jason.
True.
no. What if we open on Maz's castle and Fennec's there hiring the last muscle because she's hiring a bunch of pirates?
Well, God damn you, Jason.
I mean, it's there are ways of shoehorning that shit in if you want to.
She
I
just said
think.
they need foot soldiers.
Yeah,
Right? And we need
yeah.
foot soldiers.
And I still think it makes sense that when you hire the Mos Pelgrove Freetown cats, that those Tuscans who helped them before, they got to have like some kind of kinship. I think that those Tuscan Raiders could help them too.
Yeah.
Because when the people of Mos Pelgo, like they are like, they've won each other's respect, they may come to their aid, and with Boba being, an honorary Tuscan chief or whatever by this point.
Smell like
Yeah.
us.
Takudana is a restaurant in Mos Espa. Yeah, but they have a horrible rating with the food service agency, so I think they got like a D. You don't want to eat there.
Doesn't stop their Taco Tuesdays.
Taco
they're
Tuesday.
They're two for a credit, man. That's a good deal.
So 94% of predictions responses say no Taco Donna.
Let's go yes.
Let's you know what?
Just because everyone
Here.
you know what?
I
Let
I
it
li-
ride.
I like the that little Tatooine crew for the most part, from what I could see and what I watched. I find them entertaining and fun to watch. So let's go yes to spike that and to back up somebody who has doubled down on a leak, because I respect that. All right.
Okay. I don't even know
and-
them, but I'm doing it for the spite.
Okay. That's fair.
Yes, that's
Okay.
I don't even know why that question is in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is the question that we're supposed to be asking, right? Like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And Star Wars Santa has more than once or 1,000 times broken down exactly how this is a paper moon. Kathleen Kennedy was the one who dropped that he was influenced by paper moon. And I think if he doesn't go, they're not maximizing their most potential.
Mm-hmm.
They take him out of the Mandalorian show if he does stay with Luke. In theory, obviously, they don't give a fuck. They'll just do whatever they want.
It ended on Grogu having a choice. We have to see the result of that choice.
Yeah,
You have to. If you don't, no, that's a yeah. We're gonna see that again. Like,
but if he
I figured it out. Luke
Okay.
is like, I can't take him back because of attachments or some bullshit. Han, you take him.
yeah.
Because if Luke goes
No.
back, then it's gonna be like,
Where do I
did
have to
Luke
drop
go
this green
Boba
guy
fight all
off
the
at?
dudes? Yeah, and they don't want Luke.
No,
fight.
Luke isn't gonna. They're not gonna let Luke quit Grogu. That will
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Yeah. If they did that, that would be the biggest mistake they have ever made. If they did that, I don't think they're that stupid. I think that, I mean, it's in terms of I don't. I think they're stupid sometimes, but I don't think they're that stupid. I think that like they
Go ahead.
they generally
Go ahead.
know what the reaction's going to be. They generally try to predict it, and they know what a hotbed Luke is. They've done all of this work of just giving people exactly the Luke that yet they were crying about wanting for the last 5 years. They've done a whole thing to do that, and to have him go and become the last Jedi quitter in that moment, and it was appropriate in Last Jedi. It's not appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate here for Luke to quit his first student.
You
But
had
it's
one job,
Arthurian.
just the one.
It is the once and future king. Don't you understand? That's the whole thing going on Twitter right now about Luke it's Arthurian. I'm like, and he was Arthurian. That's why he had to have the one last battle and die in battle. And I'm like, yeah, but if you don't see fucking Luke with the Knights of the Round Table, you just get Arthur getting the sword, and then you see Arthur die, you miss all the shit in the middle. It doesn't mean anything. It's hard. It's hard. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
Well,
you
yeah,
gotta see Luke with
Excalibur
the
wouldn't have been a shitty
students.
movie. If
Yeah,
it wasn't just
and
Arthur.
First Night wouldn't have made any sense. So, right? Come on, we all
That is
like
still
that
the
movie,
that
right?
is still the most stylish dressed characters in a medieval movie I've ever seen.
Bro. Well, okay. Three Musketeers isn't medieval, but it's pretty good.
I
So-
love
Yeah,
that
it comes
idea,
close.
Yancey. I love
What's up?
Yancey's.
What do you say?
I do think we'll see one flashback. They'll use elements of the unused Clone Wars Boba arc, tore him to Bane, and he will discover it was Bane who wiped out the Tusken tribe. But I think what I like is the idea that we see that young Boba beat Cad Bane in the fight. And then if we do get more of it in this one, that it picks up as sort of like we get like the original match and then the rematch here at the end. I think that would be fun.
And RF Gaming Channel, yeah, as much as I'd like to see the Kanji Club too, that's not happening.
Oh, that would be cool though.
It would be cool, but there's
but
no way they're getting all those guys back together at one.
Well, it's 30 years before right now, so they're all kids right now. They're not old enough to be the Kanji Club that we all know.
The Kanji
That said,
Kids Club. Like
yeah.
Burger King Kids Club, right?
Luke and Grogu
It's a new Nickelodeon show.
Luke and Grogu go to a din. Well, see the thing that I keep saying is, in terms of story opportunity, Baby Yoda Grogu gets his memory back, so now he has the Force. He can do all of the Yoda stuff that they want him to do with the lightsaber. So if he stays with Luke, in terms of the story, he gets trained more. But in terms of what we need to be entertained, it is fucking there. He's got the Force now, guys. He could jump around doing lightsaber shit all day with the dark saber. He can use the dark saber. You know what I mean? And with all of that in mind, right there, they get to do the Mandalorian Jedi, who's a Yoda, and that's fucking ridiculously rad. And if they don't, and so what? On one hand, he stays with Luke and is Luke's first student, all cool guys. Or we get to see this really cool fucking thing in the Mandalorian. They're gonna go with the cool fucking thing.
I told you it's the coolest. It's the craziest visual I could think of.
Yeah.
If I were sitting in an art department, I guarantee you someone put a fucking Mando helmet on Grogu at some point, and they're like, "Hey, on Mando and Grogu, yeah, they put a Mando helmet, and then you're like." Then you put him on a little throne with a saber, and it's the craziest visual you could conjure up. And the furthest away from what people would just assume. When you see Yoda, you think, oh, he'll be a Jedi. Then they put, how does it make sense? He's not in the last shit. It's because he was a Mando. What?
Yeah.
Give him a fucking battle axe. I want a saber axe, dark saber axe, right? Like,
so all they do, Kay, is that lightsabers have a little thing that makes the blade go longer or shorter. And that's how they've explained inconsistent blades, such as in Attack of the Clones, when Anakin hits the whatever those things are off of Padme's bed, those little alien creatures, and the saber goes way too big to make the shot work because it didn't really work physically. All they do is they just have the blade emitter. They just change that, and then now it only extends that far. I think that they end up doing personally.
Makes total sense. I put it in the movie. Stupid. Yeah, why don't you watch the film?
But I mean, I think that is it a cheat? Yes. Will they do it to make it happen? I mean, think about it. A little Yoda in Mandalorian armor, who everybody loves, with a little dark saber. Yeah, that's fucking one of the coolest things that you can do, and that's what I do think they will
make a wonderful hot toy. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay. Cad Bane and Boba face off. I think it was
that
promised.
Has to happen. That
was
has
promised.
To happen.
It has to. It was a promise.
Unless they make it Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane face off.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Cobb Vanth, they made it where Cobb Vanth had a chance against him. Let's take a little side detour really quickly. I don't have the tweets up, but that one dude who wrote Aftermath, he was sort of like low-key bitching on Twitter about not getting a credit for Cobb Vanth and any of this stuff. And as I'm like looking at it, I'm like, he's kind of just a trope. And he just kind of like gets the Boba helmet. I'm like, and everything about Cobb Vanth that we know is kind of Timothy Oliphant and what they did in that series. Like, do you think it's fucked up? Like I'm kind. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you though. This
is what fucked up. Sorry,
he didn't get credit for Cobb Vanth or special thanks or something in the credits. Here's the thing: Lucasfilm is not very good with credit, right? Marvel has a whole different thing because in comics, there's like royalties are paid out on this sort of stuff, which is why there's legal battles. I don't think there's any royalty scheme at Lucasfilm for when you write a book. If your character appears in different things, you get a percentage. It comes down to that royalty issue. So this is why, like, the movie Blade is a far cry from whatever fucking character was created in 1970 something, right? Or he was speaking jive and had a giant fro, but their credits are there because of the way the royalty structure works. So if there's a blanket work for hire where there's zero royalty, that's why you're not seeing any thanks or any other credit. Because if they did, then they kind of have to, it acknowledges that they probably own a royalty somewhere. Has nothing to do with honor or respecting or disrespecting. It has everything to do with the royalty structure.
Yeah.
So, and he knows that, by the way. He knows what his royalty structure is because he signed the fucking contract. So when he sees that shit, I'm like, look, just say what it is. You know, say, hey, you know, I'm making money off it. It'd be nice if I got a fucking credit too. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't think he's making any money off anything dealing with those characters, and it was a total work for hire. And then it's like, what about then that means Joe Johnston needs to get a credit every issue, every episode for Boba Fett and the whole thing. And it's just not something they're going to do because it would probably open up to a lawsuit. Hey, I got credit for it. That means I should also see a royalty because it was an unfair pay structure in 1979 or something. Like that's it.
Yeah. When I mean, obviously, like I honestly don't know the answer to it, but when I read that part of Aftermath back after Cobb Vanth became a thing, I really didn't see a big connection between the guy that we're getting in the series and that, other than the circumstantial place and time. You know, he got the armor.
But the interpretation's irrelevant. You know? I said, Blade being an example. It doesn't matter if your interpretation's the same or different. It has to do with the royalty structure and what's set up. So Rob Liefeld's Deadpool didn't break the fourth wall when he first created Deadpool, right? So like that's something Joe Kelly sort of added later, right? Or I don't know if maybe it was in the Joe Mad run, I can't remember, but it was added later. That doesn't matter. Rob Liefeld created the fucking character. Rob Liefeld gets the credit because that's how the royalty structure works. It doesn't matter what you add on later.
Yeah.
It's just not, and it's that way for that's a benefit to creators because you don't want to be like, hey, I invented this thing, but someone else came in and turned it into the shittiest character ever, but everyone loved the shitty character, and now they get the money and I don't, but there'd be no character. Then make your own character, you know? So I'm just willing to bet there's no royalty structure on those novels. And I don't agree with that. Like, I think anytime there's a Thrawn toy, I do think fucking Timothy Zahn should get a cut of that check.
He should get a kick from that, yeah.
I don't think how interesting or uninteresting that character is to you. You know, like, or not to you, Jace. This is like to the audience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm thinking about it right now, and like one thing I was always afraid of, slightly afraid of, and so far that hasn't come to fruition. But what I was afraid of was when they created this royalty, or not royalties, but what do they call it? It's a pay structure for returning actors.
Stipends.
So, well, they didn't use it like that, but it was basically a pay structure where every time you return to a star, like when Rey comes back, like she got like $100,000 to be Rey in episode 7. Really, not even going to pay off her student loans with that one, probably. And then, but every time she comes back, she is paid more. So when she comes back for something in the future, she's going to be in that higher pay structure if they kept it. But what I was afraid of is, what about people like Anthony Daniels who've been in everything? Have they effectively pushed him out from certain things where now, you know what, we were going to use C-3PO, but if we do, we have to use Anthony Daniels, and now we're not going to, and that's what I was afraid of, that hasn't happened, but that's what I was afraid of. Well, in terms of this kind of stuff right here, I'm going to imagine when they have these authors sign on, it's like, we own everything. We do whatever we want with everything. You're hired to write this one piece. Wham, bam. Thank you, man. Bye. I have a feeling that's what the contract is. I've never seen one, but I'm assuming that's what it is. But if they were to go the other way, do we end up having where we don't have Cobb Vanth because they have to pay fucking Chuck Wendig, out of the budget?
They're not doing. I guarantee you, they're not. Chuck Wendig sees no money. The benefit to writing a novel at that point is they probably have, again, it's that other tier, that the sales royalties, right? Where if you sell over 60,000 copies, you make this much extra per. And because it's Star Wars, you're like, I could really sell 1 million copies if I write a fucking dope book, and that's sort of the real benefit.
It's like an NFL contract. There's performance bonuses.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think that being able just to say, like, I think for Wendig to be able to say, I created that guy, I think that's pretty much a pretty good payoff. Personally,
yeah, I'm all for it. But the reason why they don't, again, is because there'd be a lawsuit. Someone at some point would go, look, they gave me credit, but I haven't seen any money, and they would call it an unfair contract, and I don't agree with it, but that's the business,
Maybe the roundabout way is in the credits. There's this for further reading. I'm joking. Okay, Tuskens join to fight the Pikes. If they don't, I think that's a huge fucking mistake. Will they make a huge mistake?
It's been known to happen.
I say no Tuskens, man.
I want to.
Freetown's gonna do it.
Yeah, I feel like
Freetown.
I feel like if the people of Freetown join, which I think they will, because they shot Cobb, and now they have nobody protect them, and so Boba's new daddy, if Cobb dies. But also, Cobb was already calling the meeting because he wanted that to happen. So I think that they're going to honor Cobb and that they're going to join for sure. But do Tuskens join the people of Freetown because they fought the monster together? And they've been dropping the fucking dragon skull. They've been dropping the bone. They've been making us think about that a lot. The design.
No, it's going to be like, one of those episodes, like a montage. We're going to get a montage of them all getting ready to come together, and then there they are. They're going to fight together.
Yeah. I'm going to go with yes on these two.
Because you can't keep calling it Freetown if only one group of people fight.
Right.
Well,
I just wrote it in the script. Freetown.
Well, they definitely
not so free here, are we?
Left it open so that for the final answer into the next episode. But the people of Freetown are without a doubt, like it would be the stupidest, biggest waste of time to go through, shoot Cobb, everybody have the drama go, no, we're good. We're staying out of it. It would be like,
but that makes a lot of sense.
It's Trivia Tuesday, and
I'm not being facetious. Look, Space Ernest Borgnine can call that shit Freetown all he wants. Last I checked on the tax records, the mayor and all the fucking warlords call that shit Mos Pelos or whatever its fucking name is.
Mos Pelgo.
Mos Pelgo. Like, yeah, so it's like they can rename their town all they want, but you know who owns that fucking planet, dude? The syndicates. That's it. It. They don't own shit. So, like, I'm telling you, man, like, the only Tusken that could reappear, I think, are those, like, is the female Tusken and her kid.
And the kid.
Well,
and maybe they go.
We learned about that, by the way, that the burning of the bodies was a late addition. At the last minute, the costume designer had to start making a bunch of more costumes to burn, and they clearly didn't have the time, or maybe even the budget at that point to go and make those costumes to burn for the mom and the son. Excuse me. And so that may be why we didn't see them burning. But the intent was, I think that tells us the intent. So I hope the Tusken mom and the Tusken son come back in this season, but I don't think that was on the table.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that was our
I think the Jawas will join in the fight because they want to get laid. Like, if we help out this chick, we can get some nice. I mean, how often are Jawas getting it with humans?
We fought in the 3 hours war.
Female humans. Like there's plenty of dudes out there, but how many female humans are the Jawas getting? Like,
no,
well, right now,
Boba's crew suffers a fatality. It's going to be one of the crew, the modder crew, or a couple of them.
Somebody's got to die, right? Somebody's got to like somebody that there has to be somebody has to eat it. They can't just have everybody going and no one gets killed. You can't have Cobb Vanth get shot and not die, and then in the finale like no one dies. I think those mod kids are definitely on the table. Some of them,
as long as they don't do that, those twisty type of things where they turn on him because they've just been trying to lead him along the wrong path the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Santa.
Will kill them, right? The water guy, Stephen will get his revenge.
I think Santa's right about what they should do, but is it what they will do? Is the big question there.
If you ask that, Santa, you can't use logic or accountability or reason with this. You know.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole different. It
sounds good. That's a great thing, but.
I say we kill everybody but Sophie Thatcher. That's what I say. that will always be my take. All right. So I'm just gonna go with that. Somebody is gonna, if there is a big fight at the end, which there should be some kind of culminating fight, someone has to like die. It'll probably won't be anybody important, but
it'll just be one of the modders, one or two of the modders probably.
Yeah. Or
it'll
even
be
a
Boba Fett.
Guard.
Boba Fett will die, and then they'll take it to head. I am Boba Fett, and then they'll say, "No, I am Boba Fett," and then we were all Boba Fett, and they'll just go, "I am Boba Fett," and that'll be the new. This is the way. It'll be I am Boba Fett. That's why you keep saying it.
All right,
it sounds dumb, but I'm telling you, you guys got to stop applying story structure and just go, well, what's the fucking craziest shit I can conjure up?
I'm by no means an expert in story structure, but studying story structure to the extent that I have has guided me well in being able to decipher the spoilers that I've garnered over the years and to interpret them in the best ways possible with the evidence that I had. And this show right here just doesn't give a fuck about structure. It just it has none. It's post-structuralist.
It's thrown a Hail Mary every episode is thrown a Hail Mary.
You don't need structure to write a good screenplay. I know people think that that's necessary.
No, you don't.
It really isn't.
No,
I would say though, and I was sharing this with Jason over the weekend, is there is something that like Matt Stone, Trey Parker, and them, or is it the other way around?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying earlier. I went over the article on Saturday. I read the whole thing, but tell them what it is in a nutshell.
So it's just all you have to do when you're conjuring up any story, whether it's you going to the Circle K, you know what I mean, or you becoming a Jedi, it doesn't matter. Just you want to use the terms but and therefore whenever you're conjuring up ideas versus then and then. So let me give you a really quick example. Boba Fett killed Bib Fortuna, and then he took over as the daimyo, and then they paid him tribute, and then he went to Mos Espa, and then he met this character, and then he came back. That's what they're doing. If you flipped it and said Boba Fett killed Bib Fortuna, but it started a war, right, between the rival factions, right, for the throne, for the free territories. Therefore, Boba claimed the fucking hired a bunch of muscle to help him fight and take over. But turns out the muscle is actually working for this. Therefore, Boba Fett doesn't trust anyone, and he needs to find people he can trust. But who trusts a guy who worked for the Empire? You see what I mean? This is where you get choices and consequence. Choices. It's just a way to think about choice, consequence, choice, consequence. This does not do choice, consequence. It's like Boba Fett escapes the Sarlacc pit, and then he goes back to look for his armor that he was already wearing. Like, it's just a weird. You would say Boba Fett escaped the Sarlacc, but they stole his armor. Therefore, with the Tuskens, okay, what happens when he gets his armor? He wants to get his armor, and then he goes to the Sarlacc pit, and then there's no but and therefore, and that is a really weird thing. They know this stuff. Favreau, they know this, but again,
there are people on the story group that have taught this at the college level in Ivy League schools.
So I don't understand, why it's written this way, other than someone just wrote some shit and they're like, that's what we're making. That's what we got. And
Yeah, so sometimes I mean this is obviously just me talking up my ass, but sometimes I think that it's what happens when you have somebody who's like John Favreau, someone who's like J.J. Abrams, somebody who's like George Lucas. You know, an academic can't just go tell them you're wrong when they've been right for being wrong their whole fucking career. You know what I mean? Doing it their way has paid off so much. It's a weird thing to contend with because it's entertainment, and that's where it falls in a weird place.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jason.
Could it be that they're like, oh, finally we get to write for a show about Boba Fett, and it's more of the thought of actually getting the green light to make the show. So now they're doing it. They have to produce the product, but they're kind of running into walls here and there. Because
I feel like that explains the title. I feel like what you just said explains the title mostly.
So they have beats that they want to hit, but in order to get there, it's just kind of lame writing at that point.
I also think I don't know lame writing. It's just the tone of it. So the way I think about it is like when happens in technology companies all the time, right?
Right.
And it's where someone creates Facebook, right? And they're really big for creating Facebook. And then you know what they want to do? And they get really, really big. But you know what? They got to do something new now. It's been 10 fucking years. Got to do something. So you know what they do? I want to create Facebook, but for VR. They just keep trying to make the same thing that they were famous or successful for making versus saying, hey, maybe VR is the best place to start gaming. Let me try something different. They keep trying to make the thing that there was a fucking some talk where they talked about this, where tech people, this is why, you know, if you're really big for doing something, like let's say you get big with the iPhone, the iPod, then you make the phone, which is sort of like a giant iPod, but it has a phone in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do? I don't know.
You bow down
gone beyond that
because Max Zed does
Steve Jobs.
Right.
Hey guys.
So I feel like they were really good with sorry, Max, but they were really good with the Mando. And so they try to make the Mando in Boba Fett with the Lawrence of Arabia take, right? Mm-hmm. Versus the action figure, versus a different tone. They try to keep that same kind of tone. And then when it's not working, they put the Mando in. Like,
are we going to get an exchange, though, for Mando Season 3? And there's going to be a Boba Fett episode where we don't even see Mando?
Ask the Zandalorian. That's what I say. Zandalorian.
Hey guys,
how's it going, Max? How are you? Let me turn you up. I always forget to mix mid show when we get kicked out and people get dropped out and shit. So, chat, if I'm ever off on the sound here, you guys just need to tell me because I will forget. But yeah,
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. Have you had a chance to follow along at all with what we've been saying? And are we wrong?
Just the beginning, and then just the beginning and just the past probably like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we were running.
Well, then you're just jumping on to 17 here, and then we're not going to rethink
Max. They're awesome.
Huh?
But
I said I love your videos. They're awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, Max has uploaded a bunch of videos recently, and they are pretty good stuff. If that's your jam, you're going to enjoy it. I have to say I have liked them.
Is that you?
Performances.
Is that you, Max, actually doing the songs that you have? Are you actually creating all that stuff? You know.
God, well, I do the vocals and then I work with producers.
Okay,
and then
awesome.
I've been uploading my performances because I went and found like a whole bunch of stuff that I hadn't released. Anyway.
Yeah, so, I feel like we're a much more sophisticated art-based show when Max shows up, and I'm like, no, we aren't just completely.
There's
don't understand us. We're arts.
There's a club in San Francisco called now I can't remember the DNA Lounge, and they have something called SF Booty every Saturday, and it's performance artists that come out, and you can see all the different ones each week. It's pretty cool.
But is Grief Karga there? Because that's my next question.
Yeah.
Do you cats think we're going to see Grief Karga or Miggs Mayfeld in this show?
No. Because I listened to Bill Burr and he hasn't really said had to go do anything. And then Grief Karga for me, Carl Weathers, he's at the point where if he is going to show up, he'd be tweeting about it or kind of pointing towards it. But he hasn't really been saying anything.
You think he'd be all like, "Hey, this Boba Fett show, just supporting my local Star Wars show." Like,
yeah, it's just like the Anthony Daniels thing where he gave us a countdown to his fucking book being released.
I think it's more
everybody
like
thought there was
like
going to be some kind of cameo or whatever. It's like, no, buy my book.
Well, I think it's more like the Vincent D'Onofrio thing where he mentioned Hawkeye, or these Marvel shows when the trailer came out. He's never mentioned any Marvel show except for the one he was in, and then it was like, yeah, he's definitely in Hawkeye. Like this, it's just not a coincidence, But he hasn't done anything like that. Carl Weathers. I don't know if people understand the whole reason why Carl Weathers wasn't in that flashback sequence montage at the end of Rocky VI was because of money. So he's a very money-minded guy. I don't blame him. Get what you're worth. So,
well, he
looks good for being 70 something too.
I think back then though he was a hell of a lot hotter and more of a commodity. Even though the movies didn't connect, like Action Jackson was on its way. He still, he had reason to really
talk about Rocky VI. Like that was like 2011.
I thought you meant.
Oh, the Creed.
You meant in the one where
the Balboa, Rocky Balboa.
Oh,
okay.
No, Rocky Balboa.
The end is a whole montage thing, like through all the movies, and Carl Weathers is
okay.
not, or at the beginning or the end, it's like a whole thing, and he's not in it, and you're just like, how is Apollo Creed not in any of this? And he's like, well,
the man with the star-spangled top hat is not in that. Yeah, that's not cool.
All right, I'm going to say yes to Mace Windu, even though it's probably not going to happen, just because I want it to happen, and I'm willing to take it on the chin for that one. I'm willing, but do you guys think? You guys think we're going to see Mace? You think there's going to be a Mace moment?
A Mace sighting, yes, there would be a Mace sighting.
Yeah, he's flying the Sith Interceptor. Oh, shit. I just had a thought there.
maybe Kira's pregnant with Mace's babies.
I told you the only way Mace survived was with hate. It has to be. Yes, I say yes. I'm willing to be wrong on this one.
I'm not going to lie. Every time I see Emilia Clarke, I'm like, I want to shatter point that booty. So that makes sense that he would.
Did you see Terminator Genesis? It's tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought she would have made a great Sarah Connor, actually, but
yeah. Wait. Genesis was the last one with the other John Connor, where like another John Connor comes up, like John Connor's going to happen.
No, the last one was Dark Fate with actual.
I love that one. I love Dark Fate. Yeah.
Genesis is the one they did the really good little face replacement on Arnold. The flashback sequence, but that's it.
Yeah. All right. Post credits reveal a new series.
No.
Well, does Mando 3 new series isn't unannounced?
Yeah, this is very messy. This is a very, very messy kind of situation because the next show's Kenobi. And the next show's Kenobi. So do you leapfrog promoting Kenobi? You know what I mean? And like Mando will be back, or Boba will be back in season 3, whatever. Do you leapfrog the next show, or do you promote the next show? Do you just show a Kenobi trailer? Do you show Kenobi the Kenobi prelude or whatever, prologue? I mean, what do you do?
Does young Daniel Logan team up with Kenobi? Oh yeah, look at that.
Did Kira make a Boba clone that's played by Daniel Logan to kill himself? And is that
oh shit? I'm telling you, that's a much more interesting series than what we're getting.
I'll buy that for $1.
Call me, baby. I got some ideas. Let's talk.
Yeah, that's a butt there for. I like that.
So could it? So Star Wars saying it could be announced or unannounced. Do you think that
they're doing the Marvel thing?
Do you think that if there's a season 2 that they would announce it on this one? Like, stay tuned.
I think that's the only thing that actually truly makes sense is if there is a season 2 planned, just to let us know that there is something, and then to give us some sort of tip of the head about what that's going to be.
They're going to TCB
because everybody already knows. Yeah, everyone already knows about Mando and Ahsoka Tano, and so I think I think the announcement would be just to confirm that there's a season 2 or like to be continued ... type of thing.
Yeah. So
Or it might even be like to be continued at the end of the episode, and then maybe promote whatever projects coming up.
So I think
They're not
Max is
promoting Obi-Wan on the
answering
show.
how they
Hey, dog,
could
get
do
out of
it.
that trash.
No, this is my show, and I'm going to get into this trash if I want to.
Yo, dog. I said, get out of my trash.
Are they going? But are they going to do that? Is that going to be because? And if they do it now, they kind of start to lock themselves into we're going to be doing this all the time. Was that a one off, or is that the way that they do things now because Marvel is their sister?
Yeah,
There's
basically
their older
it's
sister.
formulaic. It's
Their
formulaic,
homegirl.
so I think they're going that way.
So we got Jesse saying, "Yeah." What do you say, Max? Are you saying yes or are you saying no?
Into the Mandoverse. Yeah, so it's going to be something like that.
So repeat that part again. What did Jesse say?
Well, post credits reveal. Are you voting
Yeah.
yes or are you voting no?
Yes. And it could be
Yeah, well, they
either,
already
right?
did a post-credits
Mhm.
reveal in Mando season 2. That's how we got the Book of Boba Fett. So they're.
So I think
they've already done
they're
that.
going to still continue with that whole.
But they've only done it
yeah.
once. But you're voting yes too, Rob?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I don't know what to think. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know.
It's wasted advertised space if they don't.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. I'm looking at what they did last time. I'm pretty certain if this were a new crew, like if it were Tony Gilroy doing it, I'd be like, no, probably not. But it's their thing. They'll do it. I'm not saying it'll be Obi-Wan or anything like that. It'll probably be for Mando season 3, and we'll just have to wait a fucking another year, for that. I firmly believe that they would do that without a doubt.
Yeah. Santa says, but if the post credits doesn't say XXX show coming in Y, then it's a no. Wait, porno? Santa, come on, man. They're not
Santa.
going to do porno in Star Wars, dude.
He's got his own
Quadruple X?
channel on Pornhub,
Who
man.
calls it porno anymore?
I know, right?
It's so great.
Porno. Quadruple X porno.
How'd the O
all
get
right.
added to porno? How did that
Does
happen?
Pornography.
Anyone know?
Pornography.
Pornography.
Oh, Max, thank you.
Hello. I know about porn. Oh, sorry. No, I don't. I don't know anything
All
about
right.
that.
You guessed something in the episode. No, it must be a legitimate guess. No freebie answers this season. And mine is Cobb Vanth lives. Does anybody have a more surefire win than Cobb Vanth lives?
Mace
I think
Windu
they-
is in the Sith Interceptor.
You think that's more likely than Cobb Vanth living?
Oh, he's alive.
Bro,
You
would
go,
you be able
Groot.
to guess the
Put
last
5
two
holes in-
episodes?
He gets shot. He gets shot once, and the other guy get like 5 holes put in him.
Do we see Luke training with Grogu on a backpack, and they climb bamboo leaves and have conversations for 15 fucking minutes? Like, you would have been like, no fucking way, Rob.
Or using the training remote.
You're like, but what about all these things they put in the mods and the Black Crusade and the Rancor? We're gonna have to obviously him do no, they won't. They'll kill. They'll leave Cobb Vanth off the screen until Rangers of the Republic show fucking up. You know what I mean?
No. He's going to be in the next episode. He's in the next episode. He's got it.
Max Rebo lives, James. That's right. He lives.
I'm submitting.
He's the blade.
Max
He's the
Rebo's
blade
in
of
the Sith
Tatooine.
Interceptor. He's actually a Sith Lord now. That's why he wasn't there.
I'd be okay with that. Well, look at this thing. It's just like, no, we just won't show that screen.
His name is
Whatever.
Darth Del Rebo.
Darth Del Rebo. Yeah. Well, anyway, so tomorrow morning we are going to reconvene and we're going to talk about any Star Wars news of the day and do a little mini show. And then tomorrow night after the episode, we're going to get back together and we're going to talk about the finale. So anybody who can make it, we hope you guys will. And if you can't, then you could always watch it, on a replay, put your comments in. And when we do the morning after show, which is the other show that we're going to do, we'll make sure to talk about what you guys dropped in there. So Just want everybody to know. A lot of opportunities to converse with the show and to be a part of it. So, and Mark Hamilton says we have to get a Crescent payoff, so it's got to be him versus Bosk. Man, I hope you're right. I really do. I really think that you're right. But also, if there is another season of the show, that's where they get to push everything back. Like, did they go into
Bosk wins though, because Bosk is in Rise of Skywalker.
It's
Is he?
Star Wars Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Test your might.
He's on that planet. Like, he's got a fucking posh apartment and the whole fucking thing.
No, that didn't happen.
Fatality.
Yeah, it happened.
No, it totally didn't happen.
Thanks
They
for
filmed it.
you fucking confused me.
You're
Oh,
thinking,
I was thinking of the Duel of Fates. God
you're
damn
thinking
it.
of the Duel of the Fates script where
God damn it. No, you're
but
right.
I do think that there was a hint in that script about what he becomes in terms of Lucasfilm's idea for him, though, is that he
There's
becomes
no
like
Bosk.
there's no boss.
No.
I mean, I kind of think on this show they thought that it was such a home run. Like, we're doing Boba Fett, everybody's just going to love it no matter what. It's the easiest thing to do, and we're going to get a season 2 for sure.
And they
so
tripped on second base.
Well, yeah, and that's where I think like Mark Hamilton's thing that we should have Crescent fighting Bosk. We truly should. At the same time, it doesn't mean that if they might have thought we don't have to get to that now. Boba, I mean, I think Boba will bite the Rancor because Star Wars News that said so. But Boba, they could have had.
We should have had a flashback. We should have had a flashback sequence where we see him in the fucking actual gladiator pits being abused by fucking Trandoshans, instead of having a Twi'lek just fucking spout all that shit out and no one remember because they were like staring at the Wookiee the whole fucking time.
I mean, dude, you could do cool stuff, but if you tell me it with cleavage, dude, I'm totally all about it. It's pretty cool.
All right, get down.
You don't remember it because you're just staring at her. She's so fucking pretty.
Good boy.
It's like, I don't know what you just said.
Go,
Okay.
no, go lay down.
Yeah, that was pretty magical.
Oh,
They blew her
Jason.
up.
Oops.
Somebody in the comments said
You know-
that maybe she's dead because she wasn't wearing dress scar, and I was like, that's pretty clever.
So I watched that again, and I remembered that basically Boba didn't fulfill his promise to have her protected, her whatever, her business or whatever.
Boss
You know what I'm
Nass.
talking about?
Or boss Nass.
Yeah. He said he's in protector, right, or something like that. And that didn't happen.
Was it
Yeah.
on here? Somebody said
Horrible
that
daimyo.
the explosion
Huh?
was only in the front of the club.
Well, that's what
That's bullshit.
when I rewatched it, that's what I thought. But when I watched it again, she makes no movement, and she is right there next to the droid. So,
And her eyes widen, like, oh shit. I
Yep.
took a picture of it.
So
That was
maybe
sad. That sucked.
maybe she just got her
I
tentacles
love
blown
her.
off. She just has like no tentacles. She's like, oh, it's hard being a no tentacle.
No, okay. If they're going all this way, so they're gonna say she's a secret Jedi.
Well, you know
Just
what?
use
Maybe
the
if
Force.
we pray for Flashdance, and we
what was
have
kinda
like a
strange-
fan thing going on. they
Yeah,
bring her back. She had a scar on her neck too. Did you see that?
That's what I was gonna say. They like introduced the scar on the neck, and then they kill her. Like, you give us something where, oh, what's that about?
I think that's maybe like she was a slave before, and she was wearing that collar that they put on Leia.
Oh, good one.
Maybe
yeah.
she wore it so long that it gave her a scar, and now she's the one running the show.
Yeah, could be.
Would have been an interesting flashback to say, but
Usually, whenever you do the sex worker in like the who's like a madam, usually she was she was a sex worker first before.
I heard that.
And then so you don't usually just jump to that. But I will say, like, if that episode, in retrospect, if we watch it again and Cobb Vanth doesn't die and she doesn't die, then there are truly no stakes in this show. And it's bad for the show. I really don't.
The Tuscans.
I would be okay with like her having a moment like Din had when his ship gets blown up and the tragedy. I mean, it was called the tragedy because the guy's fucking ship got blown up, right? I mean, essentially, this lady got blown up in her club. I mean, that's maybe even worse. All her patrons are dead. Nobody's gonna want to hang out with her now.
I figured out what the end credit and the post stinger thing is gonna be. It's gonna be that Rodian in the first episode crawls out the desert because he's been buried in the sand the whole time. He skits up and spits out sand out of his little snoot, right, and his ears. Yeah, like a spice weasel. You know
what? I want him to shoot eggs. I want him to shoot eggs out of his mouth like Birdo and Mario 2. Then I want Baby Yoda to eat him.
Sukas. So look, if we got a Super Mandalorian episode, we can make that boss or game series, right? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, I don't know how any of this stuff is. We were talking about structure. We're talking about the consequences and stuff. At the end of the day, like the one thing that defies everything is that this is essentially elongated melodrama. You know what I mean? It a space opera isn't the same as a soap opera, but there's soap opera qualities to all of this stuff, and we cannot deny that this is a soap opera, or that these things are soap operas for adults whose parents used to watch soap operas and we don't anymore. That's what it comes down
expensive.
to.
Soap operas are
These are the days of our lives.
And goddamn, would she have made a great Susan Lucci? What's her name? Should have been the next Susan Lucci. They hadn't killed her. If she's
Erica Kane.
Jennifer Beals would have made a great Hope, don't you think? And Cobb Vanth would have made Tilmy Alpha would have made a great Bo.
But maybe Boba does take her, like we said, and he's like, "No, I loved you. I just saw your cleavage twice, and I knew it was love at first sight." And he puts her into his tank, and she comes out without the scar. And you're like, "Oh, she's even better."
And then Dr. Drake Ramore shows up looking for Grogu. And that's a whole fucking thing, right?
Jack
Space
Duquesne,
LeBlanc.
Yeah.
So you guys have to start saying this, okay?
Okay.
You go Gru.
You Grogu. You Grogu. Yeah. Do you think when Grogu sees Jennifer Beals, she's alive, he goes, "Meh."
He's like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar with Jennifer Tilly.
But he goes,
if you haven't seen the outtakes of that scene, it's the best.
he goes, Grogu goes, "Mama."
I love these cups. These are awesome.
You guys.
Grogu and Wicket start using their midi-chlorian magic machine to redo Weird Science, and we get Grogu with Jennifer Beals' bra on his head.
Oh my god!
Can someone please mock up a bra on Grogu's fucking head?
Do they know that you wear bras on your heads?
Yeah.
But
That
anyways,
was such a good movie.
I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and everyone who's a Patreon supporter. The show's not free to do, so I appreciate the help with the old bills to keep the lights on, so to speak. So that's much appreciated. And you can become a channel member or a Patreon supporter. I'm talking to me and Johnny and Rob, if you're free, and anybody else who wants to come on. We're talking about doing some Patreon content, which benefits me in the show. But so if nobody else wants to do it, I don't blame you. But we're talking about watching some things, and we have like a From Star Wars to Jedi watch for channel members and for Patreon supporters. But
in my defense, I said I was cool to do that. He never got back to me. So.
No. Oh yeah. Well, no, I didn't know. I didn't see when you did respond. I'd already started. That's why.
Which Johnny we talking about?
My fault. What's that?
Which Johnny we talking about?
Johnny Cadence.
Oh.
Johnny Cadence. Yeah. Rock and roll Johnny.
There's another Johnny?
Yeah. Well, there was Johnny Grasso, but he has to pretend like he doesn't like me and that we're not friends because I don't know. It's
because he believes rumors
or whatever. But it sucks, but it is what it is. But anyways, so we're going to be back tomorrow morning, and we're going to do like a little pre-show kind of thing and talk about, whatever's going on, the news of the day, and do a little hangout. Then we'll be back tomorrow night. and having seen all of the Book of Boba, and we're going to give our thoughts on the episode, and go over the episode, and then also our thoughts on the entire season.
One last quick prediction, right?
Yeah.
Really quickly across the room. Predict what your score will be? 1 out of 10 for the last episode. Huh?
9.
9.9.
It's gonna be 7.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the director. It's the person directing the episode.
But we know.
I
but
think-
we know
I
that
think-
it's
I
shared
think-
direction.
no
It's shared.
I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it. And I saw some Star Wars Meg show where apparently like he had taken the weaker episodes to direct. I think he's gonna deliver on this one. I really do.
Oh, he
Yeah.
intentionally was like, these ones suck. I'll do them, so no one else gets the credit. No, I don't believe that at all. No, no, I don't believe that. I appreciate Meg, but I don't buy that. Sorry.
You know, John was a furry. Furry.
It's true.
Oh god, I can only imagine the conventions now.
What is the word? It's hirsutes.
You're very here, sweet sir.
Oh yeah. But anyways, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. If any news breaks between now and then, I'll jump back on. But hopefully I get the rest of the day off and just to do my thing. But bye everyone. Thanks again.
Bye.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
We did it.
Sorry for so late.
Oh no, it's